The point I'm trying to make is that a lot of decisions in our life are not made by ourselves. They're made by a higher power. I want to talk to you about serendipity. In life, a lot of things happen by chance, by luck, by fluke. We may call it serendipity. I used to say I'm an accidental entrepreneur, but now I use the word. Now, serendipity is the occurrence of happy and beneficial events by chance, often leading to unexpected discoveries or fortunate outcomes. I got into MDI through serendipity. I didn't fill in the cat form. I grew up around this place. My family doctor, Dr. Gur, is the first house opposite MDI. I would cross this institute for at least 15 years. I noticed it. But my dad saw an ad and he bought the form and he made sure I filled it in time. I got through, and I remember my mother was at SCRT in Gurgaon and she comes home at about 5:30. She used to come home at 5:30 and I came for my group discussion, and my mom came and she asked my dad, how did the interview go at MDI? And my dad said, it went well. I think Anurag did well. And I got through into MDI. Now, when I came to MDI, I'd been in an engineering school and I didn't study too much. I did a lot of other things except studying. So I had to choose a roommate, and I said I'll choose a roommate who's serious. And we have this stereotype, not true, trust me, that South Indians are serious. No stereotypes are true. So I made a choice of having a roommate who had worked for 3-4 years, who was a South Indian, and he was very serious when he talked. All of us listened to him, right? And that was my choice of taking a roommate. That again planned by God, Rama Desikan, right? So point I'm trying to make is that a lot of things that happen in life are through God's wish. They happen through because somebody said something to you and you acted upon it, or you were planning something else and you did something else. There's a theory called the theory of the burnt toast. Do you know that theory? It basically says that if you were preparing your breakfast and you had a toast that you were toasting and it got toasted more and you didn't get it, God has a plan. You miss a flight, God has a plan. And there's a beautiful book I came across and I read it 2 weeks back called Fluke. It has a theory and it has beautiful stories, some heartbreaking. One story I must narrate to you. The story is that a young man and a young woman used to work in the trade center in New York, and they were supposed to meet on a particular day, and the girl got a friend a shirt, but she had not ironed the shirt. Then they had to they had to go somewhere and go to the office. So the shirt that gentleman was wearing was not looking good. So he went to his apartment, to his hotel, to iron the shirt. His friend reached the office. They used to work in the same office or in the same office building. He was ironing the shirt because she got him the shirt and he wanted to wear that shirt. In that meantime, the plane hit the towers and that girl died and that boy was saved. It's a heartbreaking story, but the story is true. I mean, the latest story of Donald Trump escaping a bullet. What do you attribute that to? God's wish, fluke, serendipity. So in a lot of times we give credit to us, for what we do. We're very forceful about that. I did this. And in Bhagavad Gita, they say that, you're only an instrument. God is making things happen. I'm a Hindu. Everything is preordained. It's predestined. Prarabdha. We got to make our effort. Right? I've showed up in time. I'm here. I'm talking to you. But in life, a lot of things that we say happen because of us. We may have acted upon opportunities, but they're predestined. So have less pride, have more humility, give it your best, but believe in the power of serendipity. I can go on. I see Girish. I remember we were both classmates in the 94-96 batch at MDI, and there was a general secretary election, and I was not going to stand for it. And some of my friends said to me, "Oh, stand for it." And I stood and I lost to Girish by one vote, 26-24, right? Yeah, of course I'll remember it all my life. There's no question. I even tell some of my close friends, my and Girish's close friends, that I'm helping you in spite of you not voting me for an MDI. I say that to Vivek all the time, but that's all in fun, okay? Nothing in serious. But I stood for election, I lost it, and since then I've never stood for any election, right? And I'm now, so it was destined. It was destined for Girish to win that election. I got onto the board of MDI. That's a long story, but it was again serendipity. I could have got onto the board of MDI in 2011, 12, 13, because very close friends of mine were involved with MDI. But it never came to my mind. And one day it was put into my mind. I came to see Dr. Himadri Das. Every time there's a new director, and luckily for a while now there is no new director, the same director. I would come and see the director, and Dr. Himadri Das was there, and he said, "Anurag, you should be on the board?" I said, "Okay." And then he explained to me, how can I be on the board? And it happened, and it almost didn't happen. That's a story, but I don't want to talk about it publicly. So really, a lot of things are serendipitous. They happen because God wants to make it happen. You can be grateful to your people in your life who make that happen, but be humble about yourself. Exchange for Media started because another roommate of mine called Balakrishna, after first year I changed the roommate. He was still a South Indian, but somebody who took a bath every day. Right? Girish would understand that joke. And Bala came to me, it's not in my script, but Bala came to me, he was starting a venture, and I used to work for J. Walter Thompson HTA, and Bala said to me, "Will you be my co-founder?" I said, "Okay." I had no clue about entrepreneurship, honestly. And then I told my parents that I want to leave my job. I used to get 60,000 rupees or 70,000, I don't remember, but more than 60,000 rupees. And my parents said, "So how much money will you get in that?" So I said, "I'll get no salary." And my parents said, "You can't leave your job." I was like 26. I used to live with my parents. So of course, it played on my mind and I got delayed. And Bala raised capital. And then I told my parents, "See, you got me to miss the opportunity." And then one day, I lost my job, and that's a story I've never talked about. And I was having fun, and then Amit and me, who's another batchmate of mine, came up with this idea of Exchange for Media. We used to work with HTA. And Naval became part of it serendipitously because we were raising capital and we were waiting for someone for 6 hours, and Naval's office was close by. And we called Naval for lunch, and he said, "I want to be a partner." Now Naval runs E4M. I don't run E4M. Amit is not at all active in E4M for the last 10 years. He has some shareholding. But Naval runs it. So it doesn't get more serendipitous like this. Businessworld. I acquired Businessworld because one day another batchmate of mine, Dr. Amit Kapoor, called me and said, "Businessworld sale pe Anurag. Why don't you buy it?" And I acted upon it, and God made it happen, and a lot has happened in the last 10 years. So everything in life that happens is because you choose to act, but there is a larger force at play. So don't be so, full of yourself. Today leaders are so full of themselves at all levels. I'll not go into which country, political, business. There's so much of me. Reduce it. And I'll tell you, the last 4 months have been very painful, but also transformative. Because, for the first time, when my mother passed away, I really felt death. Close relatives have gone by, friends have passed away, and it has felt very bad, but it has never felt like the way it felt 3.5 months back, and my mom was in hospital for almost 2 months. So really be even-handed about things. Give it your best, celebrate your victories, celebrate your success, but be very humble about it. And humility has its own reward. It will keep your blood pressure low. Second thing is, my last TED talk, and you can watch it, was about introduction capital. I coined that term, it didn't exist. I've coined 2 terms. I coined another term called can we be genderous? You can Google that. Genderous. That term doesn't exist. Generous and gender. I wrote an article about leadership where I said you cannot choose a person based on his or her gender. But the reason I say introduction capital, I believe life and growth is not a function of talent or hard work. It's a function of opportunities. All the professors at MDI are talented. A lot of directors are talented. But the one who gets an opportunity to lead really makes a mark. So introduction capital is about, through introductions, getting opportunities. I was able to raise capital. Amit introduced me to somebody, Dr. Amit Kapoor, who's a batchmate of mine and was a professor at MDI at some point. Introduced me to someone and I raised capital. Incidentally, that person is common again between my and Girish's life, right? I can tell you so many things that I've done have happened because I got the right introductions. So introduction is a capital, but I've never charged for introductions. For me, it's goodwill, and the goodwill is bigger than money. And there is already a saying in Bhagavad Gita which basically translates into whatever good you put into the universe comes back to you. So whatever you do in life will come back to you, good or bad, in this life. So keep introducing people, keep doing good. It will come back to you. One of the things is kindness. We know what is kindness. We're kind to others. But I've learned to be kind to myself in the last 4 months. And kindness means forgiving myself for past. My mother passed away in hospital. In my own way, I did everything, but I still have some regrets. I could have gone to this doctor and that doctor. My mother would live till 83 years, 4 months and 19 days. But the fact is, one has to be kind to yourself. How do you be kind to yourself? First is, how many of you keep your phone away for 2 hours, 3 hours in a day? Does anybody keep your phone away? Okay. And phone is an important tool, I'm in the media business, information comes, you have to share information. But be silent. I recently read this book by Thich Nhat Hanh, which was a Tibetan monk. He passed away almost 15 months back, called Silence. Because there's so much chatter. We're comparing, we live in the era of social media, we have goals, our families have goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. Aspirations are important, achievement is important, doing it the right way is important. But silence yourself for an hour, 2 hours. Meditation is about silence, and then it prepares you for the whole day. Have periods of silence in the day. This is the book I recently read called Fluke. It's a lovely book. I shared one story of this couple, and the girl died and the boy survived because the girl gifted him a shirt which was not ironed, and he was ironing it in his apartment or his hotel room, and he got saved. I can give you many stories from my own life where things have happened serendipitously. I don't use the word fluke, but I would say serendipitously. Last thing, I want to ask you about how many of you sleep 8 hours plus? Ten of you. Rest, how many of you sleep less than 6 hours? Most of you. India is a sleep deprived country. Whatever you do, sleep 8 hours. Keep your phone away. Sleep is the single most important tool for growth, for good health, for longevity, for better relationships. Because we are constantly bombarded by WhatsApp, by what's happening in social media, what's happening around us. There are too many events happening, good, bad. Sleep helps you focus. Sleep helps you to be mindful. And good quality of sleep will help you in almost everything. It will help you in academics, which are important to some of you, excellence in the college. It will help you in whatever pursuit you have. It will help you in having better health. It will make you less anxious. How many of you have anxiety of some kind? No one has anxiety. Okay, I have at my age, 5-7 of you, right? It's okay to have. It's normal. All of us have. If something is important to us, we want to be on time at some place. There's a presentation. There's a task. There is a relationship. There's an outcome that we really want to happen. There can be anxiety. It's normal. But good sleep can help you with anxiety in a better way. So whatever you do, sleep 8 hours. I read this book called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker 10, 12 years back. I read it 1.5 years back again. And once you read this book or watch the TED talk, you will never compromise on sleep. You have to switch off mentally. I know we are a always switch on generation, including me, except the time when I sleep. Good sleep routine will lead to good life. It is kindness. Good sleep is kindness in practice. I want to end by talking about a book that I read almost 20 years back. And that's the last thing I want to talk to you. In life we chase success, we chase material things, we chase ephemeral things like being famous. It's important. That's okay. If you do the right thing for the right reason in the right manner, every aspiration is right. Why do we do that? To get happiness, to make sure our family has happiness. I read this book 20 years back called Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. And I think I understand the message today better than I ever did. The message is spend time with your loved ones. Today I sacrifice anything. Traveling, I have 300 conferences of my own. I used to fly to Bombay almost I was doing morning, evening going. And I like to be at all our conferences. I used to like to. And my kids grow up. My daughter is almost 21. My son is almost 17. I didn't spend enough time. I didn't spend enough time with my wife. I was just working, which is okay. First generation entrepreneurs work. Both of you know that. We have to put in a lot. But today, I sacrifice. One of the prime reasons I accepted this, and I haven't been to campus in a while. The last 4 or 5 months were very different. I didn't come to the NAM. I was in two minds. It's because my dad stays close by. After this, I'll go and spend an hour with my dad. So whatever you do, spend more time with your family, with your parents, with your brother, sister, whoever, your dada, dadi, nana, nani, whoever you love. Because time will go by, we get busy in our tasks, in our jobs, in our pursuits of whatever our goals are. But you won't get the time with your loved ones. That won't come back. And nurture those relationships now. If you don't put enough in, give time to those relationships. Keep phone away. Be totally with them. Do things for them. And their blessings, their goodwill, the emotional centricity that you'll feel by being with them will help you achieve everything else. So I end by saying that life is all about spending time with your loved ones, sleeping well, 8 hours, introducing people to people, because that's goodwill and that's blessings. And it also builds a network. I don't believe in networking, but if you introduce people to people, a lot of them remember you, and maybe not the same set of people will help you, but the good you put out in the universe will come back to you. Don't take your achievements that seriously or what you achieve. Yes, you put in the hard work, you acted upon the opportunity, but there is a higher force. Pray to God. Kumbh is very important. You can still take a dip in the Gangas. I haven't done that. But I believe spending time with your parents, helping other people. Girish spends a lot of time helping anybody from MDI or other people. He has that kind of personality and orientation. I think that gives you more happiness. Doing good karma, spending time with your parents, helping your brothers, sisters, family members, people you don't know, doing charity, all will bring you good luck. It will bring you happiness. It will bring you emotional stability, and it will also bring you success. Thank you.